Hello guys, Joker the Fool here, back at it again with another comic review. This is Cyberfrog Dark Harvest. This is of course from All Caps Comics. It's the flagship book for All Caps Comics. Of course, when Ethan Skyver broke off from working at DC, he went and started his independent All Caps Comics brand with Cyberfrog. This is issue 2.9 in between Wrecked Planet and Red Extermination. This is supposed to be the stopgap in between the very long wait between those two books, but that is besides the point. This is told in two parts, and this is him working as the writer and artist, with Kyle Ritter as the colorist and Eric Weathers as the letterer, and that's been the team for most of the Cyberfrog books, or basically all of them, at least the mainline ones. And this is a well-drawn book. I think even Van Sciver is a great artist. I think Ritter complements his colors really well, and Eric Weathers is a master letterer. He's really good at placing the word bubbles on the page, and he keeps the style. Of course, the Vespers have their own unique lettering style, and I can show off Cyberfrog and Salamandroid here, and they have their very unique lettering style as well. And I think the backgrounds and these character designs are the absolute best of Ethan's work. He's very detailed with how he draws, and I really do admire that. But as a writer, I don't think he's really the best. He definitely is not the strongest, and this is really indicative in this opening scene, because the way this opens with the Vespers, it just really feels like these Vespers are just like, I don't know, Gen Alpha high school characters rather than genuinely threatening characters, because you've got like one of the Vespers talking about spoiler alert. You've got like other slang terms like that feel very modern. It just does not feel like these are like alien murder hornets that are inflicting an apocalypse that Salamandroid, Cyberfrog, and Heather Swain have to stop. So it's really him in this very awkward position where the genuine or the general tone of the Cyberfrog comics that he established in the 90s as very light and jovial and joking, having all these quips, is being shoehorned into this very dark, serious, apocalyptic scene with the modern timeline. Of course, the Vespers invading in around 1998, and then Cyberfrog being in hibernation for 20 years. That's what Blood Honey story is basically about. And then in 2018, he wakes back up and he sees that the Vespers have taken over the entirety of the planet. You see like all the hives like that. This is really where the story is ending in terms of just having this very dire situation. Lily is taken to the hive, supposedly, but it ends up being Kelsen. So Kelsen really being the only methodology that the good guys in this story have to repel the Vespers invasion. So that's really the big plot line. That's the main plot line, and that's what really boils, or I guess that heats up in the second part, because you have this Dark Harvest book being told in two parts, with the first one being a lot longer and that one having the most dialogue of the Vespers. And that's really where a lot of it gets lost to me, is that you have this very lengthy, wordy opening that does a really bad job at setting the tone for the story, and then the rest of it is just giving a little bit more context to the ends of the events of Wrecked Planet, and then really part two is where it starts to heat up and you get more insight into what's going to happen in Red Extermination, and that's really where the story is at the strongest. So I think the general plot line is something that I like, and it actually works. It's just that all these little details, this characterization, the way he structures the plot, just does not really hit the mark. And with how long these books take to come out, it does not really get me super invested in this, and it makes it very hard for me to say, hey, you should get into Cyberfrog, because it's just so well structured. It's not like that. I loved warts and all. I loved the 90s comics that Ethan Van Sciver did. And I liked Blood Honey, and I liked Wrecked Planet as well. I think there were decent books, Wrecked Planet being a bit weaker than Blood Honey. But in this, I like where it's going in terms of the general plot, but it's all the little things like this that really makes it like a bit of a bogged down experience, rather than something that feels really actiony and punchy, and something that really evokes the best feelings of the 90s comics. So Dark Harvest is a decent comic. If you can find it cheap on eBay and you like other Cyberfrog books, I would recommend that. It's a nice book to flip through. I'm sure he'll release black and white versions of this. So if you want something to just flip through on the cheap, that's a nice thing to do if he does do that. But as a comic for the story, I would say there's other options you can get, and of course, there's other brands that are better at releasing consistently. If you want a story to consistently get lost into, Cyberfrog's releases are they're very spaced out. That's the most I'll say about that. But that has been my review. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. Joker is out.
Thank you for stopping by the Velvet Room. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can keep up with Velvet Room Publishing. And go to velvetroompublishing.com if you want to go even deeper into the Velvet Room.